Yes, we're finally here.
It's been an interesting few 10 minutes.
That was. I was just about to type in the chat to quote Dante from Clerks. I assure you, we are open.
We are. Yeah.
Yes.
I hold my hand up. It's my fault.
I wish partly we had a screen, like if we could have been recording the little breakdown that Don
little chaos that was going on just then. Yeah,
there was much swearing. I'll give it that. There was
quite a few of the C words going.
There was some creative industrial language going on there. I can assure you. Right. So welcome to Plastic Crap. The Plastic Crap.
The what?
Season 5, episode 9. More community guests. Now the guest is plural guests. Now you're all going to be shocked. We've managed to secure the creme de la creme a guest tonight. You won't forget this episode ever.
No, ever.
So I shall bring everyone in at once. So as I say, what the format is, we just got a couple of people on from the community, and we're going to have a bit of a hobby chat with them. See where they've come from, their plans. These guys have got an interesting story as well, though, on the convention front, which would be nice to hear. As always, we are sponsored by Boards and Swords Hobbies. So if you go over to the Boards and Swords web store and you use the code PCP5 when you're checking out, you get an additional 5% off your purchases on top of that already highly discounted wares as well. And a big thank you to everyone that's watching on the catch up. Is that all out the way? No,
where's Wally? Is that the one? Oh,
giveaway.
Yep.
Oh yeah, we're doing the giveaway. So for everyone that left a suggestion as to what Ken's going to call his
there was some great names.
Some amazing
names. Some of you guys are insane. I love it.
So somebody is going to be very lucky enough to win. Is it the Duchy of Warsaw by Pace?
Yes, it is. Sean wants to know if our surprise guest is Margot Robbie. How did you guess?
That close. We were that close. We were really close, but no, unfortunately not.
We decided she didn't fit the format.
No. Yeah. You won't be disappointed, though. Right, so let's move on to who we've got. So let's start off with, we know him from the PCB community. He's fond of tequila and cigars. It's Don.
Yay! It's Don.
Hello.
We should have a drum roll, shouldn't we, for all these?
Yeah, we need a drum roll. Roll. Up next, we have. Is he? Should we call him your partner in crime? Your sidekick? Your oppo?
No, it's the other way around. I'm like his flunky.
Oh, you're his flunky. Okay,
yeah.
So
because I'm too smart to take all the responsibility.
Good. No, in that case, we got Mike.
Mm-hmm. And I do have the same initials as Margot Robbie, so it's close.
Oh yes,
it's
close.
It's just like spitting image. There you go, just there.
Now for the third one. Now you wanted Margot Robbie. We've gone one step further than that. You cannot go wrong with this. This is just announcement of the year. We have. It's Ken.
Oh my god! He said he wasn't coming on again. It's not fair.
So part of the reason that we were late on was because Ken threw us by actually being here when he said he wasn't going to be here.
He said he wasn't going to be around.
Rather than not being here when he said he would be.
So his arrival prompted chaos and carnage and swearing and IT issues aplenty.
I knew from last week that I would be here, but I just thought, fuck it, let's wind him up.
Ken, my channel.
First 5 minutes and he's already come on.
Oh yeah, swearing. Sorry.
No potty mouth.
Exactly.
Too late.
Yeah, I've got to watch it.
Yeah, go for it. Who's week is it? Yeah, go for it.
We don't want any of that industrialness on here. There was enough of that before we even came on. Yes, madness. Right. So, before we crack on with tonight's shenanigans, let's see who's here, and hopefully we'll have plenty of weather updates as well. There's Wally. So Benjamin is here. Good evening, all. Old school FRP. So yeah, an important one. Don't forget the our time doesn't change here till the 31st of March.
I discovered that yesterday.
Oh.
Yeah.
So how far? So you're both in Ohio, aren't you? That's about what 5?
It's 4 now.
4 now.
It's normally 5, but with this slight window, it's only 4.
Ah, right. Okay. Glad we got that one covered up.
What AM? Or PM?
What?
Sorry.
That's PM.
No, it's PM. It's
PM. Jesus.
it's 4 hours out, 4 hours behind you. So yeah, it's 4 p.m.
Yeah,
It's 4
PM.
Yeah, it's 4
It's
PM.
Ohio, America, not Ohio. In the middle of the Pacific Ocean. No. we, Lionheart's here. Evening all. 999 any pardon. We got first weather update from John. He's in a rather pleasant South Florida. 78 Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
52% humidity. God, I wouldn't deal with that. I couldn't deal with that.
That's a bit moist in certain
That's
areas,
a
and
bit moist.
Mm.
David, he's watching next week's chat from his hospital bed after his shoulder operation. Hope everything goes well, David.
Good luck,
Best
mate.
of luck with that. Oh, here he is. Here's the weatherman par excellence. It's Paul. Hello from a sodden Mercia where it's absolutely dripping with excess moistness. More ruckus malarkey.
It wouldn't be a Plastic Crack podcast episode if the word moist wasn't used.
No. Or sodden.
Yeah.
I want him to narrate my funeral.
Oh, yeah, that'd be interesting. Rogue Trooper, East Norfolk's Craig Williams. Oh, another one. It's Tasmania this time. It's nights of 20 degrees in the low to mid 30. Oh God alive.
That sounds horrible.
That sounds beyond unpleasant. And probably very much like Paul and sodden and moist. Robin Rose Hobton, Andrew JF, Craig Williams. Oh, we like Craig. Morwell Hostel, Nick Dawson. Laser Pirate Painting, Carl Burks, Red Steph, Carazette, Graham's Wargame Vault. He's still painting Italian medievals. Rich John is painting Pegasus Knights for One Page Rules Age of Fantasy. Gary Clark, Mike Jones, Rich M, Andrew King, History and Dice, Neil Oldham, the Eccentric Man. Hello, Ken. Big ups to Ken. 7 years YouTube channel.
7 years. I know.
7 years.
Well done.
I think I've been watching Ken's channel now for about 6 of those 7 years. He's one of the first channels I started watching. Steve Harbour, he's finally basing his Bavarians this evening.
Good job.
About Mark. Chuck Mark said, Danny Moreno, Double Dip, Mark Brooks, Joseph Kananovich.
Every time.
From North Carolina, a warm and very sunny day here. Hope all is well with everyone. It's been grey here all day. It's been really miserable.
Yeah.
Wet.
Very damp. Yeah.
Speaking of which, Jimbo McCroft, greeting from the saturated bogs of Central Ireland. Lovely stuff. You can't grow with saturated bogs, really, can you? David Benton, weather report from Google is meh with scattered outbreaks of, looks like turd, but there we go. Crack and Easy, Ham and Jam, Shrink 7, Ben M, Friends of General Hake. Hello, Andy. Hope you're doing well, mate. Ian Wright, Sam Ferguson. He is. So, Sam, got a convention at the NEC tomorrow, so he's hobbying alone in a hotel room.
Why not?
Why not? The dedication. Sam, can you confirm whether they've got Tetley tea, PG Tips, or Yorkshire tea? These are the pertinent questions that we need to ask when people are staying in hotels.
Yeah.
Yorkshire Ken's always very interested. Mozart, hello, Jonas. Yeah, he's not a Thai food Tetley person at all. In fact, when I bumped into Ken in Yorkshire the week, he was clutching a mug of Yorkshire tea, and he was the happiest man in the world. Carson Lambert, Louis Baby, Marky Sparky, Storm Steel, hello Alex, Nick Games, Miller's Miniatures, Richard Chrysler, Matt Mail, Gary Clark, Dutch Army Painter, Gran Priego, hello Anthony, Sigurds and Spruce, hello James, hope you're doing well, mate. Almost at the end. Robin's here, Ian Harrison, morning all from Oz.
Mm-hmm.
Steve painted everything in German field grey so we can't see what is what anymore. I'm not going to argue with that one. John Carter, hello John. Trevor Hodgkins, Sean Tame. No, so, again, sorry to disappoint you, Sean.
Sorry.
Lord, that would have been a turn for the books, wouldn't it? Lord Lucan arriving on Shergar or something.
Well, would we even know who he was if we saw him?
I know who Lord Lucan is.
Would you recognise him?
No, I wouldn't recognise him.
No, you
You
see,
wouldn't
that's the
recognise him
point.
now.
Yes, that's the thing.
That's a plastic surgery just for you. Apparently, Margot Robbie's a big O group gamer. I didn't know this.
I think her O is a different sort of O.
Ah, right. Okay. Can't wait for the battle report. I think we're getting to the end. Joseph is here. Casper. Hey up, Tony. And yes. Are you doing well? Those Urbies make for an interesting game. And we're at the bottom. God, that was a bit of an expedition, wasn't it? Right. So before we move on to what we've all been up to, let's just have a bit of a catch up with Mike and Don. How are you guys doing?
Good. Getting ready for Adepticon next week, so it's kind of frantic.
Yeah.
In fact, that'll be a good place to start. Tell us about the lead up to Adepticon.
Mike, I turn it over to you.
So
That's what I do all the time.
You just recently had a child, from what I gathered so far. It's like that. Like, I think I slept like 2 hours this weekend. Just we based a couple hundred models. We've had terrain weekends. My hand is basically stained from dry brushing. It's a lot of stuff where we, tell ourselves, hey, we're going to do this ahead of time. We're going to plan ahead. It's going to be great. And then the crushing reality of, no, we're going to wait till the last minute to do most of this. So, right now, we're just trying to get everything finished up model-wise. And then there's all the organizational stuff, like, make sure everything is packed correctly, getting everything organized just so, I don't have to open up 5 different boxes to find what I want. The terrain for each events are, nicely placed. Getting, like, packets together, so we have, here's people in our events. Here is, maybe some rules summaries, or like for our black powder game, here's nice little unit cards or something, so you can have all your stats, who's in it, what can we do to make the games move more efficiently. So that's what this week is getting out together. I mean, we've actually declared Sunday as packing day, where we're going to pack all of our cars, so that way we're not scrambling to do in the morning. We can just leave nicely. And then I have in a master's program, so I'm also doing that in my full-time job. So yeah,
that sounds. How many games are you actually overseeing or painting for?
So the games we're directly running, we have one Team Yankee, one Victory at Sea game, 2 BattleTech ones, though we're kind of using the same models in both. We're just having 2 scenarios. Then we're running our Gettysburg Black Powder game 3 times. Those ones we all had the models done from last year, which helped a lot.
Thank God.
And then I oversee really everything at our Hyatt venue. Historical is directly, but kind of everything. So there's, 60, 70 events that I'm just really going to make sure run okay.
Yeah. We got a lot of new stuff. A lot of new stuff this year. We got what else coming over that we didn't have last year? Armada's coming over, isn't it?
Armada is the only new thing coming over this year. So now, we get Star Wars Armada, but the Middle Earth game, that expanded by 30%. So, that's a 100-person event now. A Song of Ice and Fire is expanding. BattleTech, Bold Action, not BattleTech, expanded. So it's like, it has been our Adepticon problem is every year everyone wants more space, more tables. That's why we have 2 venues now, and now our second venue's full. So it's like, oh, we're gonna have all this space. It's gonna be great. That was us 2 years ago. Now it's who wants to be in the hallway, guys?
So what? I know it's in March. At what point do you sit down and have your initial meeting for the following year's event?
Well, a couple of years ago, we were planning it in the hotel room before we left Adepticon.
Yeah,
we were like,
this
it'd be
year,
cool. We should try this next year.
This year we have most of next year's stuff already planned out.
Yeah.
Part of it is our Gettysburg game, is pretty popular. So Ozam, we're just going to keep running that until people don't want to play in it, because why not?
I was going to say, is there a game that you run? Is there a game or a system you run consistently each year, or do you?
We've run Victory at Sea every year, which I love naval games, so that's kind of my thing. And now this will be year 2 of Black Powder. We usually run either Flames of War or Team Yankee every year.
Mm-hmm.
One year we did both. Downside of that is that's 2 fully separate armies we got to bring. So now we're kind of committed. We're going to do one or the other. The terrain's actually about the same. So
yeah. With that, then, with Flames of War and Team Yankee, what would you say the split is? Is there people that play both, or people that will only play like one?
I mean, looking at the numbers for this year, I think we have 29 people signed up for the Mid-War tournament and like 22, 23 signed up for the Team Yankee. I will say I don't know the names of that, so I haven't been able to identify, what crossover. My observations is that it's pretty close to similar. Like if you play the one game, odds are you play the other.
Oh, right. Yeah. It's not Team Yankee. I think we talked about it last week. It's a game I've seen. I think the models are really nice, but it's never really grabbed me. I don't know why. I mean, have you anybody else looked at Team Yankee?
I've played it at my first ever salute, but yeah, it didn't really grab me. To be fair, there's a lot of armor, which is cool if you like that, but I like a lot of infantry.
It looks great with all the tanks everywhere.
Yes,
when you see it laid out, it's just like reams and reams of armor. It's just brilliant. Yeah. But never really played it, so I can't comment.
I've been playing Flames of War since the late 2nd edition, and I will say 3rd edition was, I wouldn't say infantry heavy, but it's more infantry heavy than the current edition. But definitely with 4th edition Flames and Team Yankee initially was kind of 4th edition light. Now it's pretty much full on 4th edition. And I say it's not as a competitive player who barely understands the rules. I've used trade secret. I am winging it in our games. Like I live in fear of someone asking me a serious rules question and then won't live with me just saying 4+ it. So,
Martin, we were talking about Flames of War the other week about how it has changed. I mean, I played 1st and 2nd edition, and it seemed to be a good balance of infantry and armor. I mean, has it changed since then?
Yeah, I would say it's definitely more tank heavy, whether that's a rules thing or like if you look, especially Team Yankee, if you look at the army list, it's very much tank and vehicle forward. Mm-hmm. And even infantry, everything is mounted. So, which makes sense. Modern militaries, most stuff is going to be mounted, so that's fine.
And Don, you've been painting stuff up for Flames of War, haven't you? Is it for Adepticon or is it for the OPC?
The stuff for the OPC, the Soviet stuff, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah, that's for Adepticon next year. So we're gonna
right.
Yeah,
we're talking gamer.
We're talking about doing a really big Battle of Berlin game.
Yeah, so since next year's the 80th anniversary of Berlin, Remagen, those kind of battles, we're going to do a giant Berlin game. I want to do Remagen because my grandpa was there.
Oh.
So we're getting that going. And then I kind of want to do Budapest just because I own a Hungarian army and it's a good excuse to paint it. And actually, that's how I pitched this initially to Don many years ago is, hey, we have all this stuff sitting around. We can run these games with what we have, and then, we'll have excuse to paint it. And then I, have spent a couple cars worth on new models since then. Yeah. But
I am not a smart man.
I was going to say, you fell for that one, Don. You really did. God damn.
Keep roping people in.
Well,
too, so.
What irritates me is that I fall for that, but then he doesn't fall for my ridiculous ideas. Like I'll watch a PCP episode and I'll go, "Hey, Mike, you know what we should try? 2 millimeter ancient. That's what we need to do."
I'm like, no, Don.
He's like,
we need more 6 millimeter modern.
Absolutely not.
Oh, jeez.
I always love seeing 2 mil stuff posted in the group. It just it gets the creative juices flowing. It really does. Has anyone ever painted 2 mil figures?
No.
Do you paint it? Do you just White, put a
Dry
paintbrush
brush it,
over the
don't you?
top. Yeah, just I don't know.
It always reminds me of those things like they're like big pins. You put your hand in, and the impression of your hand always stays in the.
Oh yeah.
That's what it looks like. Because when I've seen what's that game that is it Strength? No,
Strength and Honor.
Strength and Honor.
Yeah, whenever I've seen that being played, it's just blobs of spear points, really, isn't it? And shields.
I just worry if I was sitting here at the table painting them and I had inhaled too deeply, half a division would go up my nozzer, and that would be it.
Funny story. There's a local gaming group that I'm not going to mention that I've been feuding with for several years, and I disagree with some of their life choices. Or gaming choices, so to speak. They run a small convention around here, and they did a American Civil War game. I gotta specify if you guys, and they used painted rice. They had blue rice and gray rice.
Right,
that's disgusting. It's just disgusting.
That's how I imagined 2mm in my head. So
yeah, that's.
But
wrong.
that started the feud.
Painted rice. Sounds like
I'm not. You know what? I almost mentioned orcs in sandwich bags then, but I'm not going to.
Yeah.
that's just.
Oh,
Hey Ken, you could do that with your paper. Instead of your paper figures, you could do rice figures next.
Hey, leave my paper figures alone. They're 10 mil.
How are they coming on, Cam?
Yeah, the whole guard division's done now.
Right.
So,
and both of them would really suffer if there was any more flooding in Derby like last time.
I've sealed them with super glue, so not super glue and prick sticks. So it's fine.
I did just prefer the other comment. Was it Benjamin's comment? Said he just laminate them?
Yes.
Yeah.
Shut up, Benjamin.
Away with your common sense and logic.
Away with your help.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
away,
a good one,
Benjamin.
He starts sitting there going to think.
Coming here with a proper idea like that.
And Steve, it's whatever's the cheapest. These guys do not spend money on their gaming.
I mean, there's something to be said for. I mean, I've seen loads of YouTube video recommendations, gaming on a budget, and alternatives for
That's fine. Rice is not an appropriate alternative.
I mean, how was the rice based?
Just on like a small piece of wood or something,
On a fork.
Yeah.
This sounds more like a home economics lesson than a war game. That's a strange. I know people. Like I say, people use those blocks. Using blocks of wood.
Sure.
That's fair enough.
And Ken and his paper. So there's the Wofun acrylics as well. But rice, that's most definitely a new one on me.
Yeah, we have a guy at Adepticon. He ran day 2 at Gatesburg last year, and he used the Wofun miniatures. And this year he's doing Quatre Bras and Waterloo with them. So not my cup of tea, but they do look good.
Oh yeah. What's everyone's opinion on those Wofun? Because I watched a video the other day. It was an unboxing.
They're exactly the same as mine, except for their acrylic.
I was.
So they're waterproof.
Yeah,
I think they look really, really good.
You're gonna like my paper ones,
but whether I'd use them because they're quite pricey, aren't they? I think compared to like just miniatures in general. I think they're on the
I think there was somebody playing them at I think it was Warfare last year. And they look brilliant all lined up when you came towards, but then you sort of look around the corner and it's like, they're all gone.
Well, you might say, if you say they're expensive, but if you're doing away with the cost of paints and
true,
that kind of stuff, then it probably and time, if you consider time a thing that needs to be costed for, that was a really bad word. So then it is probably not as.
It's true though.
Not as bad.
No, it's true. I mean, straight out the box and stick them on the push them out of the.
Wait, so
the things.
So
I like
Ken's,
this song. Oh, go ahead, Don.
Ken's figures are made out of paper.
Yeah.
Mike, make a note to take matches to England.
probably not allowed on the
we-
plane,
we've-
and they might be banned over there.
We've already had some discussion, haven't we, Tom?
Oh yeah, there's
So,
plans afoot.
It doesn't look bad. Like,
Make my screen bigger. There
yeah,
you go. They look all right. Like
Like,
10mm things.
I can appreciate that. Not what I would do, but
No.
They're only there for the sole reason of they're just a gaming piece. They're not anything special. They're to play one game, and that's Waterloo, and that's it.
And it's just, you're doing it one to one. Is that correct?
Am I doing it once? Fuck it. No, I'm doing the battalions. I'm doing every battalion.
Oh right, okay.
oh, see, they got lighters over there, Don. We're good.
Excellent.
That's from our urban mech buddy, so he knows
And
what's
as-
right.
As Robert said, it's too damp to set fire to stuff here, especially in October. Oh.
We'll deal with the Bailey's thing and this paper thing all at the same time.
Yeah, have a firm word with him. I think that's-
I want to talk to his dad.
What a combination! So with Adepticon on the horizon, then what would you have? Is there a favourite game you're looking forward to running or overseeing, or are they all your creations?
Gettysburg for me.
Yeah, the Gettysburg game is just something special. So we have a beautiful board that we actually took a trip out to Gettysburg that started kind of the whole project. You know, we're able to get a lot of pictures there, which help us design the board, do the models. We did tons of research on it. Don and I have been studying the American Civil War for most of our lives. So, you know, that game is special. Now, at the same time, I love naval games. So we're going to run the Battle of Samar, which is, if you're familiar with Taffy 3, the escort carriers and a couple destroyers that scared off the Japanese. We're doing a what-if scenario that if the American battleships had actually shown up. So we'll get some Iowa-class for Shimano battle, and it should be a pretty fun battle. I just finished basing everything last night. Our Team Yankee game is called Taco Friday in Norway because I discovered... So I am a big proponent of, I feel a game needs kind of an eye-catching title and like kind of a fun description. Like you see some descriptions where they're like, oh, this is based on the 17th century, blah, blah, blah. Like, nah, boring. It's like, do you know that Norwegians love tacos? I didn't. And I saw a TikTok about it. I'm like, oh, our game's called Taco Friday now. And Don painted up a Taco Bell that's going to be the primary objective. But that adds a nice layer of fun to a Team Yankee game.
Love it.
Yeah.
And then we're doing the Battle of Tukiad in BattleTech, which is the big Comstar versus the Clans one. That one's going to be subdivided into a lot of smaller games. Either 2-on-2, well, 1-on-1, 2-on-2, or 3-on-3, kind of depending on how many people actually show up. But each one's going to have different missions and objectives, and then we'll just add up all the points at the end and see what side won.
Sounds like a Martin game. That does.
Yeah.
Does sound like a Martin game. Just a fun. Yeah, it's just how you play, isn't it? You whack them on the table, have a good laugh, and job's a good one.
Yeah. I thought there was a hidden insult in there. So
You always said it's a hidden insult.
It was a genuine compliment.
Yeah, I was confused. I was waiting for something.
Well, James has put that's a fantastic naval game to play. It sounds interesting. Dom, have you got any plans to ever resurrect Victory at Sea?
Yeah, I have actually. I was thinking about it the other day. I really enjoyed that. It was a really good game. I mean, the ranges and everything a bit weird. But,
yeah, they are a bit weird.
But to play it on the tabletop, it's a compromise. But yeah, we had some good games with that. I really enjoyed it.
What I like about Victory at Sea is if you've played any Games Workshop or War game, I can teach you how to play this in like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And it still has a good feel to it. Like a battleship takes a lot to kill, which it should. Like if you look at World War II, battleships were incredibly hard to bring down. It still has that good feel. All the different ships have their own roles and different abilities, and like I said, it feels like a good naval game without going like crazy simulation level. Like, you guys familiar with Harpoon?
Yeah. Oh God.
No.
Yeah.
I went to a Historicon a few years back. Don, you weren't at this one.
Thank God.
And they had the creator of Harpoon there, and I'm like, I'm gonna go play in this game. It's gonna be super fun. 25 minutes in, they were still going through the mission briefing, and they were talking about fuel levels on the helicopters, and I got up and left.
I just remember that game, just looking at the charts inside it, and just went, I'll just put that one down. I just like, oh my Lord, how complicated.
Yeah,
If I want a simulated, I'll go and join, Fleet Air Arm or something, and if I want to do a real simulation of a battle,
well, plus you
toys.
there's computer games that do that incredibly well.
True.
That will figure all that stuff out in the back end, so you're not just rolling on charts for 5 hours. Like I found 4 hours like the sweet spot for an event game.
Yeah.
You go too much longer, you're going to lose interest. Too much shorter, you don't feel you necessarily got enough out of it.
Yeah. I've only ever really played one naval game, and that was Man of War.
Okay.
The Games Workshop naval game back in the 90s. Do they tend to be a bit like that, a bit overly detailed, a bit overly involved?
Yeah, most of them I would say do. Really, the main ones I've looked at, Victory at Sea, that's on its 3rd edition now with Warlord. Don, what's the sail game called?
Windy Bloat game.
Black Seas, yeah.
Windy Boat game.
Windy Boat.
Windy Boat
game.
More recent games like that, and then Fighting Sail from Osprey, they've gotten more on the playability side versus incredibly detailed simulation side.
What was the name of the rules we tried before?
Naval Thunder.
Naval Thunder.
Yeah,
those were all right.
Naval Thunder's a good game. I just like Victory at Sea better.
Yeah.
It's this eternal thing, isn't it? The compromise between just a fun game that has enough of a historical detail that you feel it's sort of there, as opposed to something that's just a proper simulation of being there. And I think I don't want that anymore. Thank you very much. I'm always fascinated because the sort of shows like Adepticon, all the US shows pretty much, are very much more focused on participation games rather than demonstration games, aren't they?
Yeah.
So do you compromise in how you run the games because you're going to have players potentially who've never played the game before, or do you play it pure as the rules are written?
So realistically, they have slightly less playing experience than we do running it.
Yeah.
So that'll be fine. That's also why I try to. One of my rules of running games is whatever rule set I run, I want you to be able to go to the vendor hall and buy.
Right.
Like if we have to have a 40-minute explanation on how to buy the rules, I'm doing it wrong. So if someone's interested in that, they can go do that. But usually we start off with maybe, hey, 10 minutes, we'll go through the rules real quick, we'll go through the mission. And then a lot of times we don't really have two people that have just never played it before, but if we do, we might try to pair them up with someone more experienced and kind of like have them play next to each other and help each other through it. Or one of us will just sit there and like walk them through it. Because we usually have another guy or two.
We also try, like when we put out the description for the game, we'll try to put in there if it's something that's big, where we want you to have at least some experience, we'll put that in the description. So that generally kind of not keeps them out, but it keeps it to a minimum, where most of the people will be of the experience level that you're at least looking for.
I know when I ran Space Weirdos at CrackCon last year, it took about 4 minutes to explain the rules to everybody. Ken, you could attest to that. How quickly did you learn those rules?
Yeah, you only had to explain them once. Literally, it was so straightforward. It is such a good game. This was so fun.
It is
quick.
It's a lot of fun. Right, so let's give Mike and Don a bit of a break for now. Let's move on to what everyone's been up to. Let's start with Ken.
I knew you were gonna. Just knew it. Just knew it. Okay, so last week I did some experimenting.
Oh God, we don't want to know about that.
So,
oh my God, figures.
I baited a horse and a man on a horse.
Was that the funny paint?
Oh, that looks cool.
with his sword. Yeah, so I've got a funny paint on there. So depending on what light you look at, it is depending on the color of the sword. So it gives off a.
Oh, I remember the Facebook messages.
Yeah. So, let me go back. So there he is there, right? So that's a Warhammer. That was from. Oh my God, Sean, our good friend Sean. He sent me that. So I finally managed to finish painting him up. But yeah, just Paymaster, I think he is for Dogs of War. So yeah, quite happy with that. But finally done. Yeah, there he is, Mercenary Captain. Yeah, it is. Yeah. So I did that. But then the one that really got me was this cloak. So I did a bit of a kit bash. I did my inner Stee. Yeah. So let me go around. So here he is here. So this is Sharky from Lord of the Rings originally. Now a necromancer in my fantasy undead army. So yeah, I quite like it. The cloak, you can see like the green hue on the right hand side, but it's mainly purple. So it looks dark and you've got the purples in there. What's that? The depth work on the paper models is amazing. Yeah.
Kenny, who makes those paints?
That Green Stuff World.
Oh, right.
Is it Green Stuff World?
And that's their specific use, is that they...
Yeah, you do like a glossy black. So look, if you look there, you can see it's a very dark black, yeah? Just from the angle. But when I'm looking at it, fucking things, that front there is actually purple to the naked eye.
Yeah.
So to our eye, you'll see purple there, and then you'll see a green tinge like you're seeing on the right. So it's, when you're twisting it in your hand, it just looks like a magical cloak. Really cool for magical items. And like if you did like I don't know, say like you wanted like ghostly glows or something like that. There's loads of different colours. You get reds, greens, blues. They do all different effects. But yeah, no, I really enjoyed doing that. It's something different. I've never experimented with that.
So if I wanted to paint something and it was a bit sort of ethereal, so a bit ghost-like, if I did like a white base coat and then applied one of those paints over it, it would give like a ghosty look to it.
I wouldn't say an ethereal look. Ethereal is a Games Workshop paint that does that. And it's sitting right there, and I can't remember what it is.
X-ray flame.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. That's the paint you want for that. But that gives it. This is like a magical sort of, I would imagine so. So like if you wanted to do like a spell book and actually make the pages come to life, it kind of gives it a live feeling. If that makes sense. It's quite cool. But I also did these.
Oh yes. Are they 3D prints?
They are 3D prints, yeah.
So
yeah. But there's some white scars. But they
cool.
were, yeah. I was really happy with those.
What white have you used for those?
That is a spray from that Color Forge, and then I went over it with. Where is it? Remember in a minute. It's a very spaceship exterior from Army Painter. It's an off-white color, so grey.
The thought of putting red anywhere near that white, it just gives me chest pains. I couldn't do it.
It did give me chest pains.
I'd be a nervous wreck by the end of it. I really would be.
And then the yellow as well was contrast. Actually, the contrast yellow that they do, the Gloom Spikes Gits one. That yellow is amazing. You don't even need to put a lot on your brush. It's just so. I would say it's really heavy pigmented.
It's a really good yellow.
Yeah, it's really, really good yellow.
I'm painting epic Imperial Fists with that.
Yeah, it's such a good yellow. It just spreads. It doesn't pull either because you don't need to have a lot of it.
Yeah.
Which I think it works really well. So yeah, it's probably one of my favourite yellows to use. So yeah, that's what I've done this week, and that's probably the last thing I'm going to do for about 6-7 months.
18 years.
16 years, yeah.
Martin, you're painting right now, and your little ones are how old?
That's very true. But I yeah.
He's
to be fair, though, my little one got in here today and found my super glue, and that caused havoc.
God.
Yeah.
That's
Which
never
one?
going to end though.
Which one? Robin.
Oh dear.
Robin. So,
Oh
yeah.
dear.
That sounds like all kinds of carnage right there.
Oh, geez.
So, yeah, that was me.
Okay, Martin, let's move on to you, mate. What have you been done? What have you been up to?
I have done stuff, but then when it came to take photos, I was like, I haven't photoed any of it. So I have been doing what have I been doing? I've been doing again, just more editing and getting ready for a whole bunch of games. I've been working on these two Panthers from Warlord. So I've got there you go. This is my work in progress on the Panther.
Hey, looking good.
which is
Yeah,
nearly
love the weathering.
nearly finished. Yeah, so I've that one's done, but that's not it finished. I'm just finishing the other one. I've just done the whitewash, and I'm just about to paint the tank commander, and I'm trying to find out what they wore, and I've done that typical thing of going on Facebook and regret it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint it as Warlord, to paint it on the box, and then hang anything else.
You can't get away with black for them. That their uniform is black with the pink Waffenfarb.
Yeah, the pink
That's
Waffenfarb. Yeah.
It's essentially this little dude down here. Kind of regret leaving the hatch open now. So I've done that. I've been working. So those, I'm sure, I know Dom showed them off, and I think he's probably going to show them off today. But Dom had some very nice 3D printed buildings, didn't you, Dom? And I did print one off at 28mm and hit it with a hammer.
I felt like that a couple of times.
Yeah, I felt like that when I was printing.
You were printing them,
but yeah. So I've just added a base, whacked it with a hammer, and done lots of lollipop sticks and rubble to it.
Oh, that's nice.
Nice.
What annoys me is how this printed off in one piece without supports at 28mm. Yet to print it for Dom, I had to add supports all over the place to get it to print at 15, which was a nightmare. So I've done some of that, and which may or may not be for a tank-related game. And there was something else, and I've completely forgotten. I don't know. I've been doing a lot of. I know I messaged you guys. I've been doing quite a lot of sort of family history research this week, just kind of war-related. But I've just had a little bit of a break from things. But I'm going to be on some sticking together my Roman cavalry and my Gallic cavalry over the next week. As well, so because I want to get those added for not the first game in Hail Caesar for the Caesarians, but the one after that. So I need to get a move on and get those ready. So yeah, that's me.
How have you enjoyed doing tanks? Because you haven't done them for a long time.
How have I enjoyed doing tanks?
I've not enjoyed it.
I
enjoyed it.
I enjoy how quick they are to paint. What I didn't enjoy sticking it together. I don't see how anyone can find that fun.
Nope.
I just didn't like it. I mean, this was a Warlord kit, and I didn't enjoy it. I imagine the Rubicon. I've got
a Rubicon Panther. That's very nice.
You can
Why do you think I go on about Rubicon?
No, that's it. I've done one Rubicon thing, which was a truck, and I nearly had a hemorrhage trying to do that.
Should we mention the dreaded Huey?
It's been
Careful now.
I've been painting them up. I mean, it's because I've decided to do a white. So I'm going to make my screen big again. So this is the stage. Sorry, I said I've whitewashed it. I've whitewashed the turret on the other one. This is my light's a bit bright, but that's sort of where everything is at the minute. And I did quite enjoy it, but I don't know. It's been a nice session. I wouldn't do loads of them. I think doing these two will be enough for me for a little while. I should think. Yeah, it's been a nice change. I now need to go back and paint something in artwork, something in plate armor, and with a tabard and some
just to get over it.
Some really complicated heraldry on it. Yeah, just to make myself feel better. But it's been interesting. I've enjoyed it a little bit. I enjoyed the weathering, getting this nice clean paint job and just basically mangling it. That's been quite fun.
I've always said that if I'm doing a vehicle or a tank or something, I always want the basics out of the way so I can start doing the weathering and adding bits to it. I think the basic painting I can wash, get that out of the way, and then straight onto the pigments and the mud and the stowage. That's my favourite part.
Yeah, oh Jesus Christ, my light went out. Oh well, there you go. Never mind. The whitewash was a bit of a heart-stopping moment because I put the chipping medium on it and then just slapped white paint over the entire thing and waited for it to dry, and then we're sort of scraping it off to the whitewash. But so yeah, it depends what kind of look you're going for. Because in my sort of the good idea that I had is like, oh yeah, I'll do this for winter 44. That'll be fun. That'll look cool. Oh yeah, hang on a minute.
I did think it was brave of you to take the winter theme, but there you go.
It's just because I've got so much snow scenery.
I'm going to say you have your fetish about snow. So
Well, yeah, I've got that, but because I've got the snow mat now and all the stuff I've done for Test of Honor, I've got a lot of trees and rocks and things that got snow all over them. So I just thought, well, I'll just double up.
Awesome.
Okay, Dom, let's move on to you. Have you got any of these lovely buildings that you're working on?
Oh, yeah, I have actually. Yes, I so these are the buildings that Martin was just talking about that he did for 15 mil for me.
Oh, lovely.
Oh,
Awesome.
So I kind of I wanted them for sort of little built up areas or farmyards or what have you for various 15 mil games. So I've sort of put them in these combined bases, which I quite like the effect of. So that's one, and that's
It's great little
farmyards.
farmyards.
Just a proper little farmyard, with all slushy mud.
But that's it. If you pop them all together, though, you can have a complete hamlet.
Yeah.
Like,
I could do with some more Barney type ones if you feel like having another hemorrhage.
I've got the file. Well, no, I've got the file that works now. All the experimentation is done. I can do them. Yeah, that's
all right. I need another 5 or 6 of those. Would be lovely. Thank you.
What those long barns?
Like this one and the long barn there. Yeah.
So that the one you had on the other photo,
mm-hmm.
that
one.
No, the other one.
That one.
Yeah, that one over there on the right. That's the one I just took a hammer to.
Oh, nasty. So yeah, and then I did this as more of a sort of a farmyard. So rather than having a farmhouse, rather than having sort of mud
That's
and
cool.
everything, it was a bit more gravelly, which I quite like as well. So yeah,
That's
so I've got a couple more to do. But yeah, it was good fun. Yeah, thanks for that. I enjoyed them. In fact, these two were on the table on the game on Friday, so they've already seen action. So that was fun. And then I've also been mucking around with tanks. So because you see my Weird Wars Conflict 47, but I thought I might as well take the opportunity of doing a few of the vehicles that I had kicking around. So there's a Opal.
Oh, is that the Warlord one?
That's the Warlord one.
Oh,
yeah,
I love that kit so much.
It's great fun.
It's a really fun kit.
Although I was going to put the windscreen and the window glass.
Oh yeah,
they give you little bits. But once I'd stuck them in, I thought, how the frick am I going to get them in there without sticking my fingers all over? So in the end, I just thought it's been blown. They've got the windows down and the windshield's been blown out. That's all I'm doing. So that was that, and then I did a Panzer IV.
Oh, nice.
Which a bit where the Dunkelgelt is too light. That was the only thing with that. So, but once I'd done it, I thought, screw it, I'll do. So yeah, Panzer. Cool. I think it's a G. That one,
Very
4G.
nice.
And I found a little Italian tank, so I did him too.
Is that plastic or resin?
That's a resin one.
I was going to say the plastic ones didn't really sit well with you, did they?
No, I was quite pleased when I found this one, Steve, and it was resin, and I thought I will do that one because I won't shout and scream and worry all the neighbours. And then I talk about weird stuff. I did these because why not? So these are
becoming normal stuff with you now, Dom.
Yeah. I was going to say this doesn't even register on the scale anymore. This is you.
These are the Wolfen things you get in the German army for 47. So yeah, I enjoyed doing those. So that was good fun. I've got a few more with the weird stuff to do at some point. And then just to sort of cleanse my palate, I went back and did some Gallic weirdies.
Good. We need those.
Yeah,
we need those.
I just thought, I'm not sure about the bit cartoony, the models, but they're quite fun. They're Metal Crusader metals, but they were fun to do. So, yes, I don't usually put loads of blood on things, but I did for those because it just seems.
He's holding a head.
Exactly. yeah, and the woman's holding a heart. So there you go. I assume it's a heart. So I wouldn't want to argue with her. Anyway, so yeah, that was all my stuff. So all fun, lots of goodness.
Don, when was the last time that we did this on a Monday that you didn't post some weird shit? When was that?
It has been a while.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it has been a while.
It's becoming the norm slowly with you.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Red Steph. What can I say? Historical purity is going out the window.
He did that. That got handed in when he did a crab monster.
Yes,
it's true.
And you enjoyed that far too
Do you know
much.
what? I really did enjoy that. I think that's been the root cause of my problems. That's all I'm saying.
And yet you still haven't butchered any Perry miniatures for turning
Nope.
28.
And I'm not going to. There.
Join us. Join us.
What have you been up to, Steve?
Yeah, this is going to shock people, right? Everything I painted last week was 3D printed.
Welcome to the club.
So last week I mentioned again. I sort of not blame Alex, but if it wasn't for Alex, I wouldn't know these things existed. And these are the 3D breed figures from Vietnam, US Army. These are the ones you can print. You buy the STL files and you can print them off in 15 or 28. So I'm sticking with 15 mil. And I was working on them last week, but I've actually finished the squad now, but I've not based all of them. But they turned out like that.
Yeah,
very
they're nice,
good.
man.
Yeah, very nice.
15 mil.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Really good.
One piece as well, Steve. One
Yes.
piece.
And the fact that nothing snapped off. I haven't lost a barrel. I've not lost an entrenching tool handle. Nothing has snapped off any of these figures.
It's good. Did you use the Soraya for that?
I did, yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely, just spot on resin for that. And just they print really quickly. You can print sort of a section or a file of about 8 to 10 miniatures, about an hour and a half. Really crisp. But I've also bought the second squad because I started off with the bundle and the second squad. I've downloaded that. I've also downloaded or also bought a Huey.
You haven't learned your lesson.
I've not learned my lesson. But other things that I bought this week. So again, these are 3D printed as well. Is some M113s.
Oh, very nice.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Now the only things I've changed on that is the barrels are plastic Flames of War 50 cals. Because I just didn't trust the the rigidity of the barrels that they came with, because I knew to even clean them I was going to snap them off. So I just replaced them with then it was Flames of War plastic Shermans.
So you kit bashed.
Yes,
Okay.
and the stowage is actually a 20 mil stowage, but it seems to work really well at 15 mil. Again, they come in 1, 2, 3 pieces. So you got the main hull, you got the turret, and you got the gunner. 3 pieces. And I really enjoyed painting those. So I've got the squad painted now. I've got some more here to paint. I've got a mortar team. I've got a Huey, and I've got a medic stretcher bearer team as well. I'm quite addicted to them. They're really nice. The people have said I like them because they're quite chunky. They've got an element of sort of they're a bit cartoony looking.
Yeah, hero scale.
Yes, but the detail on them, I said in the group, I think these are some of the best 15 mil figures I think I've ever painted.
Yeah, they do that because I'm doing the medievals, the Barons War stuff. They're the same thing, same company. But like I said, one of their ones I think is coming out later this year is is Thermopylae. That's their next one.
That's going to be good. But I've also because I also printed off some Reconquer crossbowmen.
Listen to him. He's just 3D.
I don't like 3D printing because I can't convert. I like to kit bash.
I like to. No, I'm not doing that. No.
Honestly, the level of detail in those Reconquer figures it's just utter. I don't even pretend to know how it works. I don't want to know how it works. Like I said, What?
Do you remember when I first bought a 3D printer? You all said to me, "Oh, Ken, what have you done that for? You're a lunatic.
I never said that. Thank you very much.
I did, because you are.
I never said that.
No, never beat metal or plastic miniatures.
It won't.
No. Now look at you. You're all suckers.
Don, Mike, what are your views on 3D printing?
Oh, I have no problem with it.
I've got a printer. I don't use it much, but I have one, and
I have one sitting in my room I've never used, but
I'd just rather buy the stuff. I'd rather buy the stuff and you know.
I'm too
you get
lazy
it.
to use my 3D printer.
That's it. I'm glad you said it.
Yeah.
I'm lazy. That's it. Take my money. Give me the model.
Well,
I'm
I'm still
that
going to
way.
be buying models. I mean, this is just for things that I sort of want straight
Yeah.
away, or that I can't get. Sort of.
I was using mine for some terrain pieces and stuff that I found that were kind of cool, like some 15 millimeter barricades with old sedan cars incorporated into the barricade and things like that.
And we're probably going to use a lot of those for Berlin.
Yeah, but I mean, just little things like that. I wasn't ever printing off any actual guys or anything like that. It was just the terrain.
Like I have a buddy who's printing me off some Russian airborne RPG teams just because Battlefront doesn't give you enough in the packs to field the units the way I want to field them. So.
Oh
yeah, but
and I know Dom say that he daren't risk it because we.
I know I go completely bananas. I'd have far too many figures. It was just even more figures than I already have. And I think the other thing, I like buying them figures.
Sure.
I really like.
That's half the fun.
It's half the fun. It is.
Yeah.
It was too easy. It would have to be bloody easy for me to manage a 3D printer. I mean, I had that one Ken got rid of at one point, and then I just resold it. I didn't even turn it on. It's too complicated.
I have been shocked at how simple it actually is. I didn't think it would be that simple. Plus, I want to see all my neighbours looking up and seeing me walking around like an episode of Breaking Bad with like rubber gloves and a face mask on. Like, what the bloody hell? What the bloody hell's he up to?
I mean, meth would probably be more socially acceptable.
Yeah.
Right, it's 9:00. I think we should do the live draw. Do you reckon?
That's a good idea. Hey, Rogue Trooper said he 3D print, but he's waiting for episode 2 of how to print from the 3D Wargaming.
He's going to be waiting a long time.
About 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
You might get another one back. Yeah.
That's a prod in the side. Right. So if I remember how to do this, we share my screen. Go to that one. Share.
Did anyone actually guess it right?
I don't know.
How would we know?
We don't know what your daughter's name is going to be.
Oh, yeah.
I'll
have a look through.
There are some very good suggestions if you haven't chosen already, I have to say.
Right. So can everyone see that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. Here we go. I'm going to hit start. Let's go. Good luck, everybody.
I liked Refund for a name.
Refund. Hey, it's Paul.
It's Paul.
Hey, awesome.
Is there a name in it? Oh no! I've got the wrong episode.
You got the wrong episode, you dingbat.
That's because.
Sorry, Paul.
Jeez.
I was just thinking, what would Paul do?
Talk amongst yourselves for a second.
Do you know, when we were picking names for my girls, I was adamant that if we're going to have boys, because we didn't know they were having girls to start with, they were going to be called Genghis. That was first choice, Genghis. So it's great amusement to the girls now that they reckon that they would have been Genghis if they were right. I still think Estelle would have been a brilliant Genghis. She's just
it could have worked.
Yeah. And then I compromised and said, well, Alexander. But I had two girls, so that blew that one. I still think Genghis would have been fantastic.
I'll try Cleopatra. She wouldn't have none of it.
No.
Okay, let's do this again properly with the right one this time. Okay, can we have a drum roll or sort of a drum roll?
Let's find a soundtrack for that.
I was thinking some
Duke Wellington 9308 Felicity.
Love it. Very good.
No, that is not the right name.
Is it close?
No.
I love the one who said it should be Penny brackets Pincher. I thought that was particularly good. That was very good.
I will have a look through to see if anyone got it right. So you carry on. I'll have a little look.
Right. So Duke Wellington, if you want to send us an email with your details to the email address is in the description of the video. Give us your name, your postal address, etc., etc. And you have won. I know there's going to be lots of jealous people over this, isn't there?
I wanted them.
Perry Miniatures Duchy of Warsaw plastic set. So well done. Like I say, get in contact with the email address and we'll get those out to you as soon as Ian can. So well done again. And thanks to everyone. There was some completely and utterly bonkers suggestions. I think Frog Mella was a good one.
Love it.
It's not Frog Mella, is it, Ken?
No, it's not.
It's not Frog Mella.
No, it really isn't.
Ken,
That's
come on.
disappointing.
No one. I don't think anyone's close. I'll have a double check. When did you set it?
Let's have a look at some of the star comments. So Sam can confirm it's Yorkshire tea in his hotel room.
Okay. Yeah.
So Ken and James will be happy at that. Seeing Ken drinking PG tips that time was just it was tragic.
Don, let's hope
Absolutely
the
tragic.
Travelodge in Derby has Yorkshire tea.
It doesn't.
No, it has Typhoon.
How would we know the difference?
I mean, we're gonna drink coffee anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. Tea is just tea.
You'd probably take it out and chuck it in the river, you two, wouldn't you?
I might. We'll see how drunk I get.
I drink tea.
Someone's
have any
guessed their
coffee?
middle name.
Really?
Yeah. But and someone's guessed her.
Is it Frog
Is
Mella?
it Frogmella?
No, it's
Frog
not. Someone's guessed their first name that I like, but my wife doesn't. So it's not allowed that one.
Chaco, you are a right-thinking individual.
So sleep is a terrible affliction caused by too much blood in the caffeine stream. I can definitely attest to that. From Alex, it's about the fun at the end of the day, and as long as you keep the game flowing, never mind rules. Yeah, definitely. I think it's a good way to approach it.
No.
Very tempted to put on some Victory at Sea at CrackCon. Could be a thing, Dom.
I've just messaged James because he's missed a message I've sent him. So get rid of that.
I think you're busy, James. Sorry, mate.
One from Robin. So Nimitz is a fantastic naval game that doesn't take forever to play. Was that the one that Robin ran at CrackCon? Yeah, it looked really good that as well. It's one from Eric. There are some modern air combat games that are more difficult than learning to fly a plane.
True that.
String 7, Sea Battles by P. Dunn is my go-to for naval games.
Okay.
And for some reason, I noticed people were talking about two-tone suits and pork pie hats in the chat. I used to have an awesome pork pie hat. It was a pork pie hat, and it had a two-tone checkered band around it. Unfortunately, many years ago, I got a bit drunk and put it in the washing machine.
I'm guessing it didn't go so well.
No, it could fit Action Man. When it came out, it was absolutely, it was small and crushed. It was I loved that hat though. One from Fish Frenzy. Tell us about the Huey. It's on my list. It's right. I will say, I don't think I ever got around to saying this. It is a fantastic kit. Don't get me wrong. Options are plenty. You can build it in about 8 different variants. It's packed full of details.
I feel a butt coming here.
But I don't think it's a wargaming model. It's a scale model. It should. I mean, obviously it will be used for wargaming. I think. Oh, what's his name? Little Ninja Painting on Twitter. He said the same thing in that because he was doing it at a Vietnam commission and he did one of these Hueys. He said that nice kit, but he felt it was from a wargaming perspective. He felt it was more of a scale model than a wargaming kit. Or rather that thing again about Facebook.
Yes, having a bit of an epi. I don't know why.
So I'll remove it.
Yeah, probably a good idea.
If you're watching on
Facebook,
sorry, blame StreamYard.
Does your little Huey, baby Huey, does that have doors?
No, yeah, but they're already open to push back.
You wised up and glued them on right away.
Which was really quite a coincidence because on Friday night I watched We Were Soldiers, and there's loads of Hueys in that. Loads of them.
A lot of Hueys in that.
A lot of Hueys in that. But yeah, it's what I would say. Fish Frenzy is a good kit. I'd recommend it. It's it's a good kit. But like I say, it's how you decide to build it. I mean, you could go to town and put on every single last bit of detail. I missed off crewmen. I didn't put any of the. I just had mine as a transport one. So there was no like weapons, no M60s, no rocket launchers, no miniguns, no nothing. I just wanted that thing finished, so I didn't have to listen to the Smiths. That's why I finished it. Because that way lies complete madness.
I can say with absolute conviction, I am never, ever going to do that model. Ever.
Really?
Never. I might do the little one.
Minutes later.
when I was sat like rushing my way through that kit the week of the podcast, I was thinking of you, Dom. I was like, I would love Dom to live stream him putting this together.
I would be taken off not just Facebook or the YouTube or anything else, the whole internet for the swear words I would be using.
Putting those the windows in, yeah. I use PVA because super glue frosts it up. They just kept falling out. Madness, absolute madness. Vehicles on bases, a good thing. Let's get Don and Mike's take on this. Vehicles on bases, are they a good thing?
Careful here, guys.
Well, as always, I think it's your model, so you can do whatever you want.
What a cop-out.
I personally do not put any vehicles on bases. I see in some cases why it might be a good idea to lend stability to some vehicles that might not be, very stable. And I also think it's cool that you can make like a little diorama or something of it, and that's, I understand it. It's not me. I'm way too lazy. Way too.
I'm just no. I don't like the look of it personally.
Is it time to end the stream now?
Yeah.
So I'm not putting those Panthers on bases, even though I would normally do other tanks on bases, but not these Panthers. I'm not.
The only vehicles I've done to have bases are the Battlefront resin Jeeps and Universal Carriers because they came on bases.
Oh, the old, I remember those. Yeah,
and I'm not going to cut them off. That's way too much work. But
I think it's always good to get the basing point. If you ever want to start a complete and utter total war on Twitter, you just mention. So, who likes basing tanks? Just absolute madness because there's some people are a bit frothy about it.
If you want to, go for it.
It's one of those things. I just don't care enough about it. If you want to do it, go.
Whether or not
right
I'm
ahead.
silently judging you is
yeah. You'll never know what I think about you. Really? What do you care?
I just love basing tanks. I don't know what it is. It's just
Well, you're a big modeler. I'm I don't have that in me. I'm more like Dom. I'm more for the game. Yep. Painting and modeling is stuff that I do get through to get to the game. So
I even based those M113s that I printed last week. I even based them on Flames of War tank bases because
I saw. So I think Shaco has the right idea. CrackCon 6 base tanks versus unbased tanks.
That would settle it completely. After that,
yes.
The age-old question would be fully answered, never be asked ever.
Any model that's lost in the game is smashed with a hammer.
Imagine that, someone putting a lump hammer through your Rubicon Panther or something. That'd just be
war to the knife.
I think I'd cry. Don't imagine someone taking a hammer to one of your Semiventis. That'd just be awful, wouldn't it?
I've thought about it.
He nearly did it.
I've thought about it on many occasions. And do you know what, Steve? I wouldn't care if somebody did.
Now talk about a Napoleonic command stand, then yes, maybe.
Yeah, that's different.
See, I always think, because I don't do Napoleonics, I think I've missed out on. I'd love to do one of those big, massive sort of black powder command bases. I think that'd be quite interesting.
You have missed out, Steve. You need a drummer for your command base as well.
No, that's not happening. That's not happening.
Yeah, actually, the command bases are a lot of fun to kind of play around with and convert up. So,
100%.
Yeah, I know, because with bolt action, I mean, I've based some of my HQ units sort of 2 men on a base or 3, and people say, it's there's some people just want everything based individually. Purely from a gaming perspective with templates.
Yeah.
I've always said I couldn't be asked whether a win, lose, draw or not. I mean, you want to blow them up, I don't
If
particularly
it
care.
looks cool, I'm more than happy with that.
Yeah.
Like I did a 17-pounder a couple years ago, and I put everything on one big base so I could, put some ridges with the dirt and everything and have fun with it. Is it optimal? Don't really care.
No, I base them because normally I'm really crap at putting the tracks together, and so I've got somewhere to hide when I put lots of mud and stuff over them. So it's
I started mudding all my tracks fully, so I didn't have to paint them.
That's why I like the basing, because I can do the base, build the mud up around the tracks, covering all the bits of the tracks that I hadn't managed to actually join properly, and it just works seamlessly. Perfect. That's what I do.
Mud fixes everything.
Laziness is our guiding principle.
That's it.
Well, efficiency, Don. We have to paint a lot of models.
Yeah.
It's laziness. I don't care how you frame it. It's laziness.
See, my one's purely from the photography thing, because I like doing dioramas now for the photographs. Everyone's seen them, and it's a lot easier to have the tank not on a base and build up the diorama around it, because obviously I don't take it off and have a war game with it. So that was my thinking. That was just,
has anyone ever considered those see-through bases?
One of my friends uses see-through bases quite a lot. They actually look really good. It depends obviously on what kind of thing you're playing.
What's the point of them?
Well, because he plays on lots of like boards that have got like that are got loads of texture and things on them, like like spaceships and things like that. So all of his sci-fi stuff is on
I see.
He also cuts all of all his board game miniatures. He slices off of their puddle bases, because there's usually stuff that you need to see through the boards.
I can see it for that.
It's still a vehicle on a base. No. I still got to put the base on it, so no.
I can't remember which game it was, but I did something like that I can't even remember what it was now, and I got those little clear plastic things. I thought it'd be perfect because you can see through everything. And then I think it was some sort of ships. It might even have been Victory
Windy Boat Game,
first version. Could have been, or maybe it was Windy Boat Game. Yes, I think it probably was. And then I realised that when you stick it down, of course, all the super glue that you've used either squatches out because I'm crap at controlling it. It goes everywhere. So then you get it all over the base. And then also underneath, all you see is the great long streaks where it's been super glued to. And I just thought, I hate that. It's horrible. Just, stop doing that.
There's different glues. There's loads of glues.
Yeah, well, it probably is, but I'm incompetent. So I just used the one I happen to have. Because I couldn't bother to find anything else, so I'm not going to do that again.
Yeah, for windy boats, whatever Ian does with that Trafalgar game of his, that
quality.
If he glues the bases to those, and I'm in the base camp now, it looks good. that looks good
for the ships like that. Because I put base. I used to just do my 1/2400 ships for Victory at Sea by themselves, but I hated the visuals of like ships, side to side. Like I want some space in between them. And then also I could put the name of the ship on the base.
Yes.
So for ships, I am all about basing. I think that's a good way to do it.
Yeah.
So when you're doing all your figures for these sort of conventions like Adepticon and others, do you make any compromises about how you do them, in that they're going to be handled by lots of people?
I just doll coat the hell out of it.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought you were going to say compromises and painting. It's like, no, I looked up the appropriate camo schemes for every ship based on the year. What are you talking about?
I wouldn't question that. No.
But it's the one nice thing about having like a base is people can pick it up by the base.
Exactly.
So
that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Tanks. I actually had a conversation with Jim Wapple about this a few years ago. He does a lot of his tanks with primer. Because it's a thicker paint. So between that and the doll coat, you can pick it up and handle it, and it's not going to get scratched up easy.
Yeah, I get that. Makes sense.
Yeah.
I also watched him, paint models for like 2 hours and never clean his airbrush and just switch to paints as his apparently intimate knowledge of the color wheel suggested. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to be able to do this, but that's good advice. But yeah, Don and this is what, Adepticon 4 we've run games at?
Yeah.
Yeah, 3 at the Hyatt, 1 at the Marriott. I've never really had an incident with like something breaking or someone busting. Got knock on
No.
wood there, but
Well, nothing.
You've
Not
said it
from
now.
anybody. Not from anybody in the game. We dumped those bolt action guys out
Yes.
of the back of your car.
and one year
On
I
accident.
tripped and fell on my buddy's storage container. So so shit happens, stuff happens.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, that could
Family
happen
podcast.
just going from anywhere to anywhere, can't it?
Yeah.
Poor old Alec
Yes.
from after one of our games the other week, when he had all these Romans and Dacians out playing this massive game, put them up on the shelf, turned around, and then there was a terrific crash. The whole lot just fell on the floor.
Oh.
So, Alec, just because they didn't dice well for you, didn't mean you had to do that, mate.
Nothing dies well for Alec, though, does it?
No, poor old Alec, his dice.
When anything like that happens, it's always slow motion, isn't it?
It is.
No.
Or you just close your eyes and wait for the inevitable crash.
Yeah.
I remember years ago, I dropped one of my epic Space Marine. It was my epic Chaos Space Marine army, and it took me 2 weeks to pluck up the courage to look to look in the box, because I didn't want to know. I didn't want to know what happened. And to be fair, the damage was minimal, and knackered a Titan and a few things fell off bases, but apart from that, it wasn't too bad.
I kind of feel like I really want to. So hopefully he'll share it himself. But Mr. James Miller, if he's watching, had a bit of an incident during the week. And I'm hoping if he's watching, he'll share it in the chat. But it is tragic. It really is what's happened to this stuff. So, dude, if you're watching, please put it in the chat.
Brilliant.
Did it make you laugh?
Yeah.
It made me laugh, but I had more questions than things. So he essentially there was a model placed way out of reach because they've got a kitten, and he put it on the top of a bookcase, and something was moved, so the cat then gained access to the top of it, and I think it was like a 3D printed wyvern for orcs. He painted up really, really nice, and the cat just went bang like that, and just twatted it off, and it shattered.
Wow. I'd be deciding if I could 3D print another cat.
Yeah, there was some comments from Robin along those lines.
Oh,
Is there a question for Don and Mike? The next great PCP question: do you swap out bad dice?
absolutely.
Not only do you swap them out, I will swap them out between rolls. Like if I have to hit, I will roll different dice to wound with.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Damn right. Well
Yeah.
done.
Yeah, you don't
redeemed
keep
the
using
basing
same
now.
dice. You
Wow.
gotta,
Dice will turn on you, man. Why do you want
sometimes
to
you gotta
keep
rub on
rewarding
your
them?
belly too for belly
Yeah.
magic.
I just swap out opponents. I find that easy. Just change my friends.
Try to find one you can beat, huh?
Pretty much, yeah. That's why Robin's been around for a while.
I was telling you when I was playing a game of bolt action with Rich at CrackCon, and I was using my new fresh PCP dice, and they stunk the place out to the point where Rich said, "Can you keep those dice away from me?"
Yeah.
He wouldn't let them go on his side of the table in case they cursed his dice.
Just swap them out, Steve.
I did. I ended up
It's
going
liberating,
for white
man.
ones.
It's
Yeah.
liberating.
That's why I bring like a box of dice to some of my events. It's one I'm going to start and use. If I'm playing a Soviet army, here's my Soviet dice. Have all those particulars. But then if they start rolling bad,
Yeah, true.
I know this is completely probably over the top. Before X-Wing tournaments, I used to roll dice and choose the ones that roll best on my practice rolls.
okay.
I've done that before now.
Yeah.
You
This
do
is
that
normal.
with dice.
It's just
Trouble is
smart
you can't
strategy.
roll too many practice rolls, because if you roll
Yeah.
too well,
You might
use
roll
it
the
all up.
goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to take 6 red and 6 green, but I've got loads of different ones. So I used to roll
Normal behavior.
and then I'd pack away my 6 red, my 6 green, and they would be my tournament dice. Absolutely total madness. It just there's no way to describe it. But
It's reasonable behavior.
You don't keep telling yourselves that.
when it comes to dice. Although the worst part would be getting down fines and you're taking an odd number of dice. I won't be able to cope with that. I'd have to buy some.
I actually will square them up into nice even formation on the table. I feel that's how my little bit of OCD manifests.
Yeah. I built
That's what-
like pyramids of dice to dominate my opponents. It's because he's only thinking about those and not thinking
Assert
about
dominance.
Apparently, I'm a sad sack. No, when I used to play in X-Wing tournaments, my edge of the board used to be just mathematically arranged, so everything was not anything was out of place. And if I was playing against someone who was just cards and dice and tokens everywhere, it used to stick in my craw. It really did.
Okay, that part's weird. That part, but the dice thing is fine.
Bench the ones, David. Yes, I totally understand.
We have a buddy during a Blood Bowl league. His dice were rolling a lot of ones, so he took them out to the parking lot, lined them up, and then took one of them and smashed it with a hammer. And they put the remains in a little plastic baggie, which showed to the other dice at times.
That's my way of using dice. I like that.
John.
I like that. I might do that. Fantastic.
Do you know what? If any psychiatrists were tuning into this part of this podcast, I think there'd be enough material there to last them a couple of years. There really would be. Right. Have we got any news? Do we have news?
Oh, yeah.
You guys, I have to drop because I have class and.
No worries, mate.
No worries, mate.
I appreciate you letting me on and talk here.
No, thank
No,
you.
thanks for taking the time to join us, mate. We've
Thank you.
enjoyed having you.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll see you in a few months in CrackCon.
Absolutely.
We will.
Awesome. Stay safe.
Okay, now I can tell you the whole truth about it.
Yeah, go on now. Tell us all about
Yeah.
Tell us
As soon as he
all
leaves.
about him.
Right, you ready for the non-threatening news intro? There we go.
Dom, when you made the overlay, you put 3 at the bottom and 2 at the top.
Oh, didn't I? Oh,
I'll just get rid of it. There we go.
Yeah,
It's
there
gone.
we
go.
Yeah.
I do. Ken's asleep. Look at him.
Has he gone to sleep?
Yeah,
He does
oh,
look asleep.
he look like he's asleep, so it's all good.
Yeah, I'm all right.
What are you asleep for now?
Oh, hang on.
That's-
My picture just disappeared. Carry on.
Go on.
Oh, what?
You start, Martin, because I've just realised one of the
Me?
next news is.
All right.
disappeared
Okay.
from the
Okay. Well, someone's just brought it up in the chat, but Graham from Grey for Now Games, who do Test of Honor and 0200, has announced that they're starting development on his new game. Well, he's already started the development of it, but he's opened a group and he's just lots of ideas flying around, and this is called Guards of Traitor's Toll. So it's going to be a fantasy one, and this looks like a bit of a cross between More Time and Guards by Terry Pratchett.
Mhm. Awesome.
So it's a semi-cooperative war game where you, from what I can gather so far, and there isn't loads of information, you're essentially going to have like a group of guards, and you'll have a sergeant. So you maybe have 5-6 models or something like that, and you're patrolling around the city against your opponent's band of guards, trying to interacting with NPCs and solving. I think he said the example of taking out the crazy wizard who's throwing fireballs everywhere, or trying to catch the thief who's just stolen something, and then you'll have different missions out of that, and depending on who's solved, or who's cheated or made their guards look the best will sort of win the game. And there's campaign playing it, but I'm sure it will have some funky mechanics. He's quite good at mixing. Well, I really like both his games, so they usually have a very good sort of thematic feel to them. So there is a Facebook group for that going at the minute, but there's no date on when that's going to be put out. So it's just out in it's sort of sometime in the future.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah,
it's really nice.
Yeah,
Isn't it?
it's always really cool. I don't know who's done it. Battle Group is now print on demand, and the print on demand copy has some extra stuff in it, I believe. Now I'm sure Robin, who's in the chat, is going to be able to elaborate on that. But I think there's some extra army lists and things in there that aren't included in the original print thing. So next up, V&V. I've got some Pagan Rus.
Oh yes.
Which is sort of on horizon. I shouldn't think it'll be too long as well. Paul Victrix has some as well, so you can have a lot of options. What else did I have? Oh yes. So Warp Miniatures. Do you remember the Gnome Army? That we
Yes.
kept on putting up. So Warp Miniatures actually make a game called Ark World. Anyway, they've just released their newest version of the rulebook, which is I quite like this little. It reminds me of the books around my grand's house. So this nice little A5 thing. He does all the illustrations in them, so they've got their new version of their rulebook out. But he's just released this month's for sort of Warp Miniatures Patreon has just released his version of Definitely Not the Fellowship. All right,
Okay.
I love these. I might get these. Already?
You go on.
I really, really like these. I really like the sort of, they're very, very much in keeping with his style.
Style, yeah, 100%.
Absolutely nothing, not the Fellowship of the Ring. But what I like is that they are actually different enough from the typical, from where everyone obviously thinks of the Jackson stuff from Middle Earth. So these are very, very different, and I do like the rather psychotic looking hobbits.
They are, aren't they? They are scary eyes on those.
I do. No, I do. I really like them. I might actually get these ones. Print these off. I think.
Could you use them with the previous set of rules that you were talking about? I wonder.
Yeah, I think so. I think this one's pretty much everything he does. Oh, sorry for that. Sorry, I think meant for his rules. Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think Graham, from what I've seen, there will be miniatures for it, but a bit like Test of Honor and 0-200 hours, there'll be pretty much miniature agnostic. You can use any samurai miniatures for Test of Honor and any guards for 0-200 hours. It just comes with those really nice Wargames Atlantic ones. So I think there's already been quite a lot of talk in the Facebook group about miniatures. But like I say, it's all early days at the moment, but something to keep an eye on. Over to you, Dom. That was all I had.
Jubbly. Right, you have your 2-second moisture alert. Be prepared for Perry's. Look at those. I mean, Perry, Duchy of Warsaw, Uhlans in metal. So, what's not to love? Well, I do like what they've done with these is to keep the costs down. They've done just the riders in metal, and the horses are the plastic horse sprues that you can buy from them. Yeah, so you can pick them up, and also you can buy them with the different horse furniture depending on what you want to use them for.
So you might have some horses around.
You may well do. Yeah, you may well do.
Yeah.
So that's quite a good idea, I think. So really, really good with those. So that follows fast on the artillery that they announced last month and the officer groups that they've going to be bringing out. So really exciting. Although I did see someone saying, can we not have the Shakos or whatever they're called, caps, covered with covers? Because they're all covered. But what I got really excited about was these things. Look at them. Oh, the greens of the Ottoman artillery from the Napoleonics. That's a proper boom boom stick, that is, isn't it? Look at that.
Boom boom stick, yeah.
Wowzer. I don't know what the rules will be for them in black powder, but geez, it's going to go bang, very big. And also some French servants for the Egyptian campaign, which I think are really cool as well. They could be useful.
Oh, they are nice.
Yeah.
They're really cool.
So that's what the Perrys have been working on. Hopefully we'll see some of that at Salute, I would hope. Also, I know everything seems to be very much into Vietnam again. Suddenly that seems to be the way things are going, because Gringo launched these. These are new tunnel rats that they've produced. And then actually the Gringo 40 range is huge for Vietnam stuff. Really good. I remember talking to him, a couple of salutes ago about the vehicles and everything. It's a real passion project for him producing that range. Very impressive.
That was when I bought those Marmalukes.
It was. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I did.
They're very nice models too. And they fought quite well when I used them against you in that game.
Yes, I remember that they did nothing apart from sit around causing my people not being able to get out of square and adding support, which really
bugged you, didn't it? It was great. So that was fun, and also Reconquer. They've got next month's initial design is up,
Yes.
and it's a fortified camp,
That's cool.
which is just awesome.
So he's releasing all of the elements, so you'll be able to get the palisade as like a chunk, so like 3 or 4 pieces, and then all of the elements is individual ones as well. So all those thousands of stakes that he's just popped around at the outside, you'll be able to get those, I think, in sort of strips, I think he said, or something like that.
Yes.
And then but I think there's a few more things to go. So he has actually done quite a lot of scenery now.
Yeah.
Because there's the inn, there's the house, there's obviously, what's the other thing he did? Big stable set.
Pigsty.
There's a pigsty, which is one of the most elaborate looking pit. I'd be happy to live in that pigsty. It looks really comfy.
Really good. And I know another one that got people very, very excited is Eureka. Showed off these 20 mil US paratroopers, which are apparently going to be up for sale at Salute in April. So there's multiple packs of these things. They do look good.
They do look very nice.
Really nice indeed. Apparently, the guy who designs these said he wasn't going to do them.
Okay.
He lied, because there they are. So yeah, they're coming along nicely. So
There's a fair few in that range.
There's quite a bunch there. Yeah, quite a bunch. 20 mils. Very nice indeed. And Peter Pig have some more of their range out. So these are Scottish pikemen, and I forgot what the other ones were. So some more ancient for their range. Now, if you're building the epic figures from Warlords, these pigs fit in beautifully with them. The scale wise, they're perfect. So you can sort of supplement them and increase your variety of figures, shall we say, with them. So I like the guys with the swords at the top. Might have to get a couple of those. Nice. Yeah. And then finally, I saw this is a sort of semi-official version of Sharp Practice covering the Cape Colonial Wars in South Africa, which is being produced. Now, I put the link up in the Facebook page. If you're not a member, make sure you are, because you can get you can pre-order these. They've been blessed by Rich, and they have lots of stats and scenarios. I think they're only at the moment being done as a physical copy, about 25 quid, I think, to get a copy of them. So if you're into your colonial, want to do the Boer Wars or whatever, that could be the thing for you. I might well have to get hold of a copy of them.
I was going to say, Dom, you're going to be partaking in that?
I think I might, Steve. It'd be rude not to. There you go. I think that's everything from me.
Good stuff.
Plenty of stuff, yeah.
Tell you what, a good reaction.
Sorry, I was just going to say before we wait for you, would you want to say, because currently Dom and I have been going through the list of CrackCon games, haven't we? So that has, it's essentially been pretty much finalised, because there were a lot. There was. When we actually worked out what people had asked for, we found that actually we got very little space left now. So that's it, really. It's pretty much done deal. So we have a couple of tables back, and then you'll be. So if you haven't heard from us and you sent in a suggestion, you should be hearing from us over the next week or 4 days. I have sent out some messages. So if you haven't heard from me, Paul and James, because I have just messaged James, and he said he got my message. There should be a thing coming, but we'll then do the announcement for games, and then also give you guys the date that the tickets will be released. But it's looking like it will be a full house with a big variety of stuff for lots of people to try, which is going to be cool.
I think that was the thing we wanted to make sure, was there was a good variety of games for people to play. Different periods, different types of games.
It's just a way, so if there were 3 people wanting to do, for example, Chain of Command, we could actually get them together and go, look, do you want to, instead of doing 3 separate Chain of Command games, why don't we have one big Chain of Command game? Or why don't we, how can we change this up a bit? And to be honest, it's been really good. So yeah, we just got a couple more things to sort out. But if you've got any questions or anything like that, do just drop us an email, and then we'll just keep you guys updated over the next couple of streams.
Absolutely.
Good stuff. Don, question. Turn at 28 in America. Is it taken off? Did you see much of it?
No.
No. Okay.
That was quick.
I'm moving to America.
Well, I don't. It's probably not a fair question to ask me. I don't move in the kind of circles where that would
Those
be
circles, Steve.
Those circles.
Circles.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in our local game store or anything like that, or you know that. But what's funny about Ohio is it's like it's a bubble inside the country where something can be extremely popular across the rest of the country and it's just selling out everywhere. But in Ohio, it's dead. There was a card game from Game of Thrones years ago, and people were playing it everywhere. I used to own a game shop at the time, a small game store, local game store, whatever you call them, and people were playing this game everywhere. We could not give that game away to sell it here in Northwest Ohio.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was a good game. We played it ourselves, but we couldn't get anybody else interested in it. But across the rest of the country, it was flying off shelves.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just a weird thing.
Wow.
It wouldn't surprise me because it's Turnip 28. Has it been fully released yet, or is it still? It is, or is it still? Is he still working?
Turnip. It's always in development. I mean, whether they'll reach a point where they say yes, it's finished, and here's a physical copy. Here's what we're going to. Because I know it's good. I mean, you can buy Turnip 28 figures now. You can get the STL files, and I think there was a limited run, but there's also a shop now where you can get pre-made or multi-part Turnip 28 figures.
Well, there's many times when games will be out there and it's available and people are playing it, and I don't know. I remember, I think it was the first time I went to Adepticon, so 4 or 5, right before COVID hit. I was going through the vendor hall and I saw Arena Rex, which is was a larger scale, sort of like fantasy Roman arena type game. I'd never even heard of it. I'd never even heard of it, but people were playing it like crazy. They had a lot of big tournaments and events and things like that at Adepticon. I'd never heard of it, so I don't think I'm a good judge of whether or not Turnip 28 spot. I think it looks cool. I don't see myself playing it. But at the same time, I don't see myself. There's a lot of things that I would love to do. Like I would love to get into 20 millimeter World War II. I don't have the ability to do that because I've just got so much stuff going on for Adepticon. Everything that I can't remember the last time I painted something that wasn't related to a Adepticon, an event that we're either running now or going to be running. So, I mean, I've got 2 of the starter boxes for Legions Imperialis. I've got a Bretonnian army that I just bought along with, the old world stuff. I'm hoping this year I'll be able to get a chance to break down and paint some of that stuff for myself.
I was going to say, so when Adepticon's over and the dust has settled, do you look forward to sitting down and painting your own stuff? Or are you already thinking ahead about what needs to be painted moving forward?
What we usually will do is, like Adepticon, we're driving to Chicago next Monday, and the following Monday we'll come home. So what we'll usually do is take a week off, and then we'll go out and have cigars and drinks, and we'll start planning for next year. Now, some of our stuff is already set. We've already decided that we're going to do the big Battle of Berlin and thing and stuff like that. And we've talked about maybe not doing Gettysburg next year. We talked about doing a different American Civil War battle, like Chickamauga or something large like that, because hopefully the idea is that we'd be able to use the stuff that we've already painted up. So it could save us some time, but we usually will wait about a week, maybe 2 weeks before we start planning, but at the same time, up until late August, this past summer here, I had fully planned to do a Flames of War Anzio battle. And Mike was going to do that Remagen game. He was going to do that this year because his grandfather, like I said, was at Remagen, and my grandfather was at Anzio. So we were going to do that, but I finally had to just bow out of it and just say, look, man, there's no way I'm going to get this done if we're going to do all this other stuff. Every single year we think we've got something set in stone, and then late summer, his Victory at Sea game, he didn't decide to do that until August. So, we're always adding things into the mix. If it's something small like that we think we can run, we'll add that in, so it's kind of set in stone, but it never really is.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing for your hobby? Do you think that you kind of have, sort of all set in stone? You can't just go off piste and do your own thing because you got to keep focus on Adepticon.
Yeah, what I have found, and it is quite a surprise to me when I started helping out with Adepticon, is that I found that I really kind of like running events more than I actually like playing in events.
Okay.
It's very stressful. Like right now, as soon as I get off of here, I got to drive home like a maniac and start painting 40 BattleTech mechs for that, that game we're running. So it's extremely stressful. But when you run the game and somebody who you've never met comes up to you afterwards and thanks you and said, "Hey, that was a lot of fun." That's I find that extremely rewarding. And I still play games. We still go down. We got our local game shop is really good, and we get in some gaming on I wouldn't say a fairly regular, but maybe once a month. But yeah, I like the running the games more. So it's all okay for me.
I know when I ran Space Wados last year at CrackCon, it was great seeing Evil Jim and John and Rich and everyone, quite a few people who played that went away and just bought the rule. I mean, the next day Jim had the rules, Stargrave figures, just the whole lot. And I think seeing that and introducing people to a game they may not have played before, a system. And seeing them enjoy it and walk away and say, "Yeah, I'm going to be getting into this game." I think, it's really rewarding.
It makes you feel good. Makes you feel good that you let somebody else have a good time and you were part of arranging that for them. If you will.
Yeah, I can see that. We get similar feel with CrackCon, really, don't we?
Sure.
You get that feel of just watching people having a laugh and rolling dice and just the laughter and the.
You look at that photo that you have as the at the top of the PCP page, Facebook page, where everybody's there. You could tell that everybody in that room looking at that camera had a great time.
Yeah,
and that's something you guys could be very proud of.
We do enjoy doing it, though. To be fair, don't we? It is a good day. We're seeing everyone there rolling dice.
Yeah, it's a hassle leading up to it, and it's work. But at the end of the day, you could look at that photo and go, "We had a part in that."
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, I remember I made a really short video, just literally walking around the tables, and I just said you could see the fun that everyone was enjoying themselves. Everyone was just engrossed in the game, rolling dice, and I just thought. I think for me that just summed up. It's just summed up the day because I think the last CrackCon we did, I had an absolute blast. I enjoyed myself, so not just a day, but the entire weekend of hanging out with you guys. It was just such an awesome time. Really, really did enjoy it. And like I say, running a participation game, it does bring an extra dimension to the hobby. It does.
Definitely.
And I love watching those videos. I like watching videos of anybody in the group. If they go to Salute or whatever, I try to catch and watch as many of them as I can because I like seeing people having a good time.
Yeah.
What I like.
That definitely sums up CrackCon. I think it's during the day, go for a mingle, go for a chat, and you just see. Yes. Upstairs was so packed and crowded together. I didn't want to annoy people by saying, "Right, can you all chivvy out the way while I record your game?" It'd be like, "Piss off, Steve, go away." No.
We try to do those kind of videos. I did one last year, and we ran into problems because the hotel where we're at, the Hyatt, they run music in the background, over the intercom kind of thing running through them. That's all copyrighted.
Oh, right, yeah.
So yeah, and I didn't realize that until I posted that video, and they were saying, "Oh, you're gonna have all kinds of problems with this," you know. So yeah, it was. So now I just stick to photographs. That's plus I'm so busy. It's hard to carve out time to just walk around.
Yeah,
because there's always
that can be one of the big things, especially if you're running a game. Is someone will say, "Oh, did you see this?" No, I
missed that.
Oh yeah.
That's why it was good last year when Martin, when you ran that Bushido game for me and Ian. I think that was just sometimes you're focusing on a lot of things. That was good just to take 45 minutes out and just play a game I'd never played before. Yeah. And it was just a good way of bringing
where a giant owl tried to kill a man riding a tortoise. Yeah, I remember.
That was funny watching you two play it. To be fair,
it's because it was
a terrific experience.
It was just that was a giant turtle, birdmen, owls being electrocuted. It was just brilliant.
Yeah, that was the your owl who died so ungracefully. No, I think it is just lots of fun, especially when you like design, say like a big game where you design a scenario and you put little things in it, and sometimes things work, sometimes things don't work. But when they do work and they work really well, or you've put in something that trips people up, like the Barnet game, that was just awesome to see that. And that's why we're doing it. But we'll be doing. There'll be a big game this year. Yeah. So actually, there's gonna be a couple of big games this year.
Good. Right, should we have a look at some people's pictures they've sent in to the Facebook
yes,
group?
please.
Absolutely. As always, we can't choose everyone, but if you're not a member of the Facebook group, you really should be. So link is in the description below. Womble across, answer Dom's questions.
And not just yes. We got wise on that one.
No, it's bots, Dom, that do that. Yes.
Yes, we know.
Shyster us by ripping our t-shirts off.
Yeah.
So in all seriousness, answer the questions, and ye shall be admitted entrance into the hallowed Facebook group. Yes, where we post up. I'm a member of a couple of groups on Facebook, but I'd say the PCP one is the most for what people are working on a post. It's the most diverse.
Definitely that.
It's fantastic. The group is amazing. The people that they're so willing to help you. I've Martin, James Miller. I've emailed those guys out of the blue completely. They didn't know who the hell I was, and I asked them. Miller, I asked about. Hey, I got some questions about the English Civil War. They're going to be really dumb.
Oh, you made him moist.
moist. He was like, oh, he gave me recommendations on books. Martin, when I was obsessed with the Wars of the Roses, he gave me. They don't know who I am. Jonas helped me with the camouflage on my Swedish tanks and stuff. He didn't just tell me. He went and got the regulation that showed the pattern. Everyone is so willing to give their time. It's an amazing group.
No, it is. And I'm always amazed by the diversity and just what people are working on, period, scales, So we're going to start off with something a bit left field. From Andrew. This is some dwarf cavalry. So it's a dwarf on a goat. There we go.
Whoa. Oh, yes.
Yeah, and why not?
I love that model. I absolutely love it.
That is awesome.
That goat is fantastic. It's just so cool. I think are they mantic?
I'm not sure. They could be.
Oh. Either way,
they are now.
Dwarf on a goat. Can't go wrong. Up next is Alad with some 20mm colonials. His,
job, Alice. Very nice.
Is he using these for sharp practice?
Benjamin.
Ramming speed. Well, very good.
Bravo.
Very good. Bravo, sir.
Yes,
I can't remember what he's using for. I think it might be sharp he's using.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Sorry,
lovely stuff. Now, David had a game last week. Now, Dom, I think you were quite tempted by this, weren't you? It's the Anglo.
Yes. Look at that. Really good.
Nice bit of terrain in the middle as well.
Yeah, love that. Really good.
Very cool.
Is that something you've ever gamed before, Dom?
Not that specifically, no. But we've
yet.
done a bit of we sort of do a bit of the Indian Mutiny stuff, and that's kind of close. So
Yeah, that's kind of close, but
yeah,
looks really nice.
it does look really good.
Lots of white trousers there.
Yep.
For
now.
Until you start getting musket balls fired over your head.
Yeah, that'll do it.
They might change really quite quickly.
Yep.
Okay, this is Greg up next. I love this. Look at that.
Oh, that's very
yes.
White Scars
That's very
Warlord.
cool.
That is awesome. That's got everything. Skulls, severed heads, birds, swords. Brilliant.
Yep.
It's ticking all the boxes. It really is.
I like that.
Tactical
That's-
rock.
Yep.
Tactical
rock,
rock as
yeah.
well.
Definitely a tactical rock. Yeah, well spotted.
Is that Ken? Is that an actual figure or is it a kit bashed one?
No, it's a figure.
Is it? Oh,
Yeah, it's a figure. Yeah, it's a figure. Yeah, it's a really nice figure, to be fair.
it is nice. Oh, lovely stuff. Up next is Ken with some Dad's Army.
Oh, brilliant.
Hey.
Brilliant.
Nice little kit bash, Jack Jones Butchers there.
Yes.
Yeah, love it. That's
Bang,
cool.
2, 3, 4. Bang, 2, 3, 4.
I watched that the other day, to be fair. Yeah.
I can't think of that. I can't think of that without thinking of them. Sticking the rifles out of it. Up next is John. He's been painting some French hussars.
Ooh,
Nice.
very nicely
Very
done.
nice.
sir.
Mine's worst nightmare.
Yeah. Well, no. Yes, it's been
Cavalry.
absolutely. I like looking at other people's. Really nice. Really nice. It just reinforces to me why I will never do them again.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
John, they're cracking. They really
Just
are.
attempting them gets you bonus points in my book. They're just, not too much lace.
Well, they won't be troubling my my desk in the near future. This one,
That's what he said about 3D printed.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Years
We don't
time,
know the word of it.
one year's time, 10 mil hussars.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for the drummers. I'm waiting for the drummers.
I'll be willing to sign any kind of document. I really will be. The next one, I love this. This is a guy called Kato, by Kevin.
Oh, that's cool.
Ooh.
Oh,
That's
very
clever.
nice.
That's very nice.
What is
That's
that?
wicked.
What kind of a
Sound.
head does he have?
Yeah.
There are
Has he
some
got
with some
Dunce's
pretty-
hat on?
There are
Ah.
some with some really really cool headgear.
That's a proper. That's historically accurate.
It is, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
yeah, it
cool.
is. Yeah.
I love the pattern on the horse as well. That horse is painted really well.
No, beautiful model.
Lovely stuff.
Yeah, I never knew that about the headgear. That's
No, I didn't. Up next is some more weird stuff from Krista. He's painted some Cataphracti Terminators.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they're cool.
They're lovely. Yeah. Wow.
They're
They
word
word
bearers,
bearers today.
Yeah,
word bearers. Yeah.
They're really cool. I got some Cataphracti ones that are sitting down here, which I'm trying to start. I've got 10, so 5 will make their way to the World Eaters, and then the other 5 will. You'll be very pleased to hear. Don will be Dark Angels.
You're dead to me.
No, they're lovely. And it wouldn't be the PCP without some burrows and badgers.
Hey, good
It's a
stuff.
squirrel mage. I remember when I painted my one. I painted this in about 2 hours. It was just such a lovely. It's got a really its face is proper full of character, like it's proper screaming. It's a really good model.
No.
But that's good. Have you painted that one yet, Dom?
I don't think I have yet. No. I was just thinking I haven't got that one. Quick, time to order.
And up next is Mark, who's been doing some burrows and badges as well. Look at those.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
nice.
Oh, I like that. I like
Yes.
the theme of the pinky
Oh.
outfits
That
on them all.
picture,
That's
but yeah.
brilliant.
Those are
That-
so good.
That armor is
Like
fantastic.
the basing on that. It's,
Yeah.
it's very cool basing.
Ah,
What he's done
lovely.
there.
I like the colour, the pinky purple and the yellow. It really goes well together.
Yeah, really nice.
Yeah, it does look nice.
Burrows and badges can't go wrong. Up next is Rob, who's done some sailors for, I think he said, the Sudan. or
Oh,
the
very
Zulu.
good.
Yeah,
Oh, they're
really
good.
nice.
That officer on the right, that is cool.
Yeah,
Wow, they're brilliant. Are they Empress?
I'm really not sure.
I think they are. I think there's yes. I think they are. Yeah.
They look like the.
Yes, they are. They are. Yeah, he's done a far better job than I did on my. They are awesome.
They're painted so smooth and clean looking. Really, really top work. Love it.
On the left, what sort of pistol's that? Can't be a Luger. It's too early, isn't it?
A bang bang one.
Yeah, I don't think it is a Luger. No.
No idea.
No idea. If you know what it is, let us know.
Up next is Nick with some 15mm Viking ships.
I don't like Vikings, but that is cool.
Ooh, I like
Very
it.
nice. Very
I think he said as well, these are being used in a game that he's written himself.
Oh, nice.
Cool.
nice.
But
That is very cool.
they are very cool, actually. I do like.
That'd be great for that. Would be great for the ship for the futsal Vikings that are coming out in the Kickstarter soon.
Yep.
Boatload of those hairy-arsed fellas jumping out.
Then we have Warren with some City of Sigmar.
Yeah.
See, again, I think those would be quite good for this guards.
Yes.
Game. That's the kind of feeling.
Guards thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would work.
I'm not normally a fan of the Sigmar kits, but that kit's actually quite nice. I like that.
It is. Yeah, and he's done a fantastic job on that. And last but not least is ta-da! Hey!
Swedish tanks, isn't he?
S-tanks, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, they are.
Very nice.
How long did it take you to paint those, Dom?
The camouflage took me a couple of weeks. I'm going to say, about 2 weeks off and on. I didn't work on them steady every night because I had other projects I was working on, but about 2 weeks.
Yeah, nicely done, Don. Like
Yeah.
Do you use an
Really
airbrush
nice.
or do you paint it?
No,
by hand,
I
or-
was going to, and I think I was foolish not to.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to have the hard edges, and I'm not good enough with an airbrush to try to get those hard edges with an airbrush. So
Yeah.
I did it with a brush.
Yeah. They're nice. They're really nice.
They're really nice.
See, that's the sort of modern that feels to me like more not like major nations like the US, the Russians, and all that. We're not saying Sweden's not, but like the smaller armies and stuff like that, or Britain, not Britain, just other stuff like that. That's quite cool. I do like the sound of that. Something a bit different.
Yep. Again, big thanks to everyone who posts up in the Facebook group. Always appreciate seeing what people are up to. And again, it's just inspirational. But it's dangerous for the wallet as well when you see what people are posting up, especially Dom when he sees people do the angles.
Yep.
Or anything that piques his interest.
Just basically anything, really.
Just anything apart from Turnip 28, obviously. With it.
I think we're going to get him there one day.
Ah.
I do think we're going to get him there. I think he's getting there. Look,
See,
did we think we were going to get him to do Conflict 47? No. What's he done? He's painted.
You didn't force me to do that, you see.
Yeah, but Dom, can you? I think the issue is Dom taking a freshly sharpened blade and some mud and some tufts.
Not going to happen.
Do it an all manner of unspeakable degeneracy to Perry's plastic.
Exactly. I would not be able to sleep
No.
ever again.
Some tricks
Maybe-
can't be taught to old dogs.
Exactly.
You know?
Damn
Maybe
right.
if we
I'm the
raise
same way.
$5,000 on the raffle, he might do it.
Nope. Not happening.
Although we did, remember that? Didn't you do one attempt? It was like a big sod of earth on the floor.
Yeah, that was. See, I did. There you go. So I've got that picture still somewhere. I can show it to you again. It's just a clump of mud with a head on top.
At least you tried. Right, we're in overtime technically. Big thanks to Don and Mike for taking the time out of the day to join us tonight.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate
Thanks for
that.
having us.
It's been
it's great.
It's been a lot of fun, and
Always
it's good getting some insight into Adepticon as well.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Good luck
Yeah.
with it.
Any of you boys ever come over, let us know. And if there's
I tried this
we
year.
are.
any Americans that are or anyone else that's going to show up, let us know. Make sure you get over to the Hyatt and see us because we'll take care of you.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
1 year. I'm
We are-
going to do it.
We will. We'll have to make a group outing. We'll drag Steve kicking and screaming.
Does he have a passport? Is he allowed out? Is he? You know.
Well, I've got to work on getting my passport so I can come over in October. I was thinking, I was like, it's been 40 years since I left the country. You know,
And welcome to Derby.
Welcome to Derby.
Yeah.
God, you come all this way and you get
Or
to
you
end up
can-
in Derby.
And we're gonna. That's right. We've got
Derby.
that's it. Welcome to the Tudor Room, CrackCon, and then all you can eat curry.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, what could possibly go wrong there? It just
Tudor Room's going to be good.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
it's going to be good. It'll be fun. A fun time.
100%.
At least we'll be forewarned about that thing behind the bar that scared the shit out of me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was creepy as hell, man.
You're not
I did
kidding.
that
After a
for
few
some reason.
beers, blimey.
For some reason,
Uh-huh.
I didn't have my glasses on, and I was like, are they real? What on earth is that? Why is it not moving? And then when I got closer, I was like, this is freaking me out quite a bit here.
Who would do that to their patrons?
I know.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, big thanks to everyone for tuning in tonight and participating in the chat. Don't forget, we are sponsored by Boards and Swords Hobbies in Derby. Use the code PCP5 when you're checking out for an additional 5% off your purchase on top of that already lovely discount. And a massive big thank you to everyone watching on the catch up. And don't forget to like the stream as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All that stuff.
Where are we next week, chaps?
The
we're
hospital.
over on-
Oh, yeah, the hospital.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, yes, you
Yeah,
are.
you're
Actually, yes, in
Yes,
7
I am.
days.
Yes,
It's
I am.
actually on that day, isn't it? Oh,
Yeah,
we're
it
gonna
is.
have it'll be good work. Well, we're over on my channel, and the topic is Wargaming Confessions. I'll put a bit
crikey.
more. This can be as serious or as light-hearted as you like. But our man that we'd have to confess to is not going to be here because he's going to be at the hospital.
Brother Ken is not going to be around.
Wargaming Confessions. I want to hear, has there ever been a time where you've swapped your dice when you knew that something? No, it'll be good. I'll put up some stuff on the Facebook group. Who won the competition?
Oh, it was so Duke Wellington. And just get in contact using the email address in the description below. And yeah, just let us know, and we'll get that winged out to you as soon as Ian can do it. And yeah, I think we all echo Steve Fib, Ken. All the best for next week, mate.
Yeah, good luck.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'll see you in about 6 months.
Yeah.
No, you have to come on as a mystery guest again.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'll just turn up one day with my baby. Hello, look.
What I like is that room will never look like that again. You're going to come back and it's just going to be like everything's gone. Everything.
Everything's gone.
Everything is gone.
Right, we're all going. So again, big thanks to everyone that tuned in tonight. We're over on Martin's channel next week. Enjoy your week, and we'll see you all soon. Bye bye now.
See you next
Bye.
week.
Bye.
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 Bye. Bye.